Okay, the next entry you'll see is send a vacation letter. Well, you know that we have the very wonderful rule that if you have a vacation letter on file with the court and you send it to opposing counsel, once you know who that is, they are not supposed to set a hearing on any day that you've stated you're going to be in trial, you're going to be in deposition, you're going to be in mediation, you're going to be on actual vacation, or you're going to be at continuing legal education. So, and they're not supposed to file or set anything, not file, but set anything within 3 days of that date. Now, that may not always be possible if your calendar is very full, but it will give you some protection and protection for your client to have that vacation letter on file quickly, so that if they do set it on a day that's horrible for you, you can say, I had a vacation letter on file, they should have looked at my vacation letter. So you want to get that on file the minute you get the case. File that vacation letter. Okay. Our first category is building your hearing notebook. Now, one of the things we hear the most when we're at continuing education and we hear from the judges is they really like a lot of organization, and they like to have exhibits, and they like to have basically a requesting list. Well, once you have all these exhibits prepared, and we're going to have a category on exhibits in a minute, you're going to need a way to organize that for yourself. It is very advisable to have a hearing notebook. And you want a hearing notebook for each person that is going to be attending the hearing. Not the client, but each professional. So if you're going to bring a paralegal with you or another lawyer, you don't want one hearing notebook, you want one for each person, so that everybody can follow along and make notes as they go. Now, what will be in your hearing notebook? That is a great question. And I'll tell you my preference for organizing it, and everybody has their own preference. I like to have in my hearing notebook, one, a cover page with a listing of what's behind each tab, all the witnesses' names and their cell phone numbers. And I want their cell phone numbers because in our world there's a lot of hurry up and wait. And if you get down there and the judge says, oh, come back at 1, and you're there at 9, I want to call my witness and say, turn around, you don't need to come now, come back at 1. So I don't want to spend a lot of time having to figure out how to reach that person because they're obviously en route several times. So I like to have their cell phone numbers. Some people will not give them to you, but to the degree they will give them to you, it's good to have their cell phone numbers. Now you'll see here that our first entry was this, have all their cell phone numbers. When I cursor over it, it tells you what the rest of that sentence says. So you can click on it, and I'll show you what that looks like, and see it, but you don't have to. So you can just do what that little hover over, and see what the rest of that sentence is. Now see this little I next to it in the blue? That is an indicator to you that there is more information than what's on that initial entry. So you kind of have your description here, and then when you go further in, so that's your action title, that was the first part. You have your action plan, so there's more information. And one reason there might be more information is you can only type 255 characters in the action title, but you can type and type and type and type in the action plan. So, but it's nice to not have to drill down on each one, because some of them don't have an action plan. They don't require that. So you'll see down here, no I, but up here there is. If you don't want to click down into it, you can just hover over that also, and it will tell you what it says. So, as we talked about, that one says, in case you need a call from the courthouse. It's nice to have the cell phone.